Hi friends, Luisana here from My Life in My Craft Room with another video for possum stamps, and I am here to show you how I made this super cute card using the brand new stamp set. It's called Sweet Cupcakes, and when I first saw it I just fell in love with it. I am going to be doing a sort of a one layer card, not really though, because I do end up making it into like a two-piece card. It's gonna have a mat, but anyways, that was the idea to begin with. And I am using a lot of the stamps that come in the set, which is a 6x8 set, and I am going to be doing a lot of masking, so I can create sort of a scene. I am starting by stamping the elements that are going to be looking like they are sitting in front. So I'm starting with my cupcakes, and I do have some pre-made masks that I have made, and it's really easy to make these. I just use low tack masking tape. Yeah, I believe that's what it is. And I stamped the same image onto that tape, and then I just fussy cut it using my scissors. So I chose all of the images that I wanted to use for this card, and the more that I stamped them, the more I wanted to put on. So I ended up with how many elements? 5 different elements, 2 big cupcakes and 3 candies sitting on the floor, on the grounding area of the card. And now that all of my cute elements are done, I am going to stamp the cake stand. And since I have all of the other pieces that would be touching that cake stand masked, you will be able to see here in a minute how all of that masking, when I remove it, is like magic. So it looks as if that cupcake is in front of the cake stand, and it really gives it that cool effect as if it's a whole scene. Anyways, removing the masking tape from my images is like one of my favorite parts of this card today. Now I am doing a little bit of Copic coloring. It's just going to be very simple, and I am trying my darnest to keep the color of the marker, the cap, so that you can see what colors I am using. And I am starting with my lightest item, which in this case is going to be the glass portion of the cake stand. And I just used the combinations of B02, B00, and I believe B000, and I am blending everything with my colorless blender. Now for the base of the cake stand, I had this vintage pink, like, I don't know what these pots or bowls are called. I think they're Pyrex, but these vintage Pyrex glass pieces that you can find on eBay, and they are so pretty. I kind of wanted my base of my cake stand to look like that, so I went with a combination of different pinks, and I am pretty happy with how it turned out. I did color outside the line right there, and I am going to fix it here in just a minute. I'm gonna show you how. So I'm just doing some blending. This is my colorless blender right there, and I had just refilled it because it was sort of empty, and it bled on my paper, but that's okay, it worked out. Now for the hearts, I went with R89, R59, R46, and R27, I believe, and I colored everything that is red on the card with the same color combination, just to keep it simple and so that it would all make sense. I wanted the colors to be sort of like to tie together throughout the card, so I do end up using the same colors in a lot of the different elements. I decided to go with purple for the other hearts, and I used BV08, V17, and I believe V12 for my combination of purples, and I ended up using that same exact color combo for the cupcake inside the cake stand, but my camera or my phone did not want to record that for some reason. So I apologize for that, but it's the exact same color combination, and I will be showing how I color the pink cupcake, so you can follow the same steps that I did on that one, just switching up the colors from pink to purple. All right, so I'm just finishing up all of my hearts in the other pieces of the card, and I did go outside the line right there on the top cupcake, but that's okay because you're not gonna be able to see it because I colored that frosting with purple. So for that cupcake right there, the frosting, I decided to go with pinks. And the coloring is really simple. I just went with, what colors did I use? RV 13, I want to say. I'm going to see it right now here in just a second. Yeah, RV 13 was my darkest, my shadow color, followed by RV02, and then I used my lightest tone, which is RV00, to blend it all so that it looks all smooth. Then for that candy, are they called truffles? I don't know what they're called. I really do like their flavor though. I went with the same color combination because once again, I did want my card, all of the elements, to kind of look like they belong together, you know. So that was very simple coloring right there. And now I'm moving on to the chocolate portion of everything. So in my mind, I figure the two candies with frosting on were chocolate, and the cupcake on the top is also chocolate. Chocolate is my favorite, so it was just a given that that's what I was going to do. And I am just using a very simple combo. I believe E49 is my darkest and E29 for my mid-tone, and then I went with E57 for my lightest tone, and I am pretty happy with how it turned out. Right before I started coloring the top portion right here of that truffle, I had colored the cupcake topper, the one inside the cake stand, and my phone did not record it. But just follow the same steps that I did for the pink one using the purple tones. Now here I am using lighter browns to color the left, the one truffle on the left. I wanted it to look slightly different than the other two. All right, so I'm not gonna lie, I struggled a little bit with these piece right here. I just couldn't figure out what color combination I wanted. I kept going back and forth with different kinds of BGs, and it was just not working out for me. Finally, I went with BG34. Yes, I did like 3 or 4 different layers. BG34 is my darkest. Then my lighter tone is BG23, and my lightest is BG11. I did the same exact thing for the cupcake in the bottom because I figure they have different frostings, but they were baked by the same person, so they would have the same color cupcake wrapper. Is that what they're called? All right, so now I am grounding my images. I didn't want them to look like they're floating in space, and I started with a light layer of W1, and after I was done with that, I felt like it was way too light, so I brought in my W3, and I applied that only closer to where all of the images were so that it would look more like a shadow, and then I blended it all together using my W1 once again. What you're seeing here is the sentiment. I chose to go with the Enjoy the Sweet Life, and I stamped it with embossing ink, Versamark embossing ink, and I use opaque pastel pink embossing powder from Wow. My phone did not want to record that. I ran out of memory. I am really sorry. My phone had all kinds of issues today. So I decided to trim my panel to be 4 inches by 5 1/4, and then I glued that onto a pink base. And to finish it all off, I am using some of the sequins from that orchid mix, and I will just put 3 of them on my card, and I feel like that just brought it all together very nicely. And that finishes off today's card. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Possum Stamps here on YouTube, and I will see you all the next time. Bye.